Welcome to another episode of Drivers for Drivers. I'm Francis Hamm, and next to me is Kenny Kuntz.
Howdy.
Ken Cox isn't with us today. Where is Ken?
We sent him to North Carolina.
He's out driving the truck today, huh?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Missed the beard, though. You know, it's going to be kind of strange not having that big beard in here.
No food for later. Taken out of it.
That's right. That's right. Well, we wanted to bring up some questions that were brought to us. Wanted to talk a little bit into detail about what we can do with certain scenarios. So we wanted to start out with drop and hook. So drop and hook, two parts to it. You know, you're dropping a trailer, you're picking up a trailer. What are some of the things that we need to do? Let's start with the drop side of things. When you know you're going to drop a trailer, whether it's empty or whether it's loaded, what are some of the things we need to do?
Always protect yourself. Take pictures of the trailer you're dropping, tires, all four sides, and make sure you leave the bills.
Yep.
Yeah, for the next guy.
Yep. And then tires, they need to be properly inflated, you know, and they need to be in good condition when you're dropping that trailer. It needs to have fuel in the tank, 3/4 or better on the fuel. We definitely need to make sure that happens, and the trailer has got to be swept out clean. That way, wherever we're dropping it, it can be loaded.
Yeah, if you're dropping it empty, for sure.
Yep. Loaded trailer, if we're dropping a loaded one, same thing. Got to have fuel in it.
Take your padlock.
Yep, take your padlock off. That's a big one. Yeah, you don't want to be 1,000 miles down the road. They want to know where the key is for the padlock.
Don't leave your flat tire for the next guy to fix. Everyone knows that becomes an issue.
Yep, that's right. What about bill of ladings? So I go into a receiver, and let's say I'm dropping a trailer there. I'll check the bill of ladings in with the security or at the window, you know, with the receiver. But what if I'm coming into Jerome or something and dropping it in the yard, and another driver is going to take it from there? What do you do with the bill of ladings?
Usually they put them in the vent door, the back of the trailer, in the inspection box.
Okay.
Somewhere, if it starts to rain or something, they're not going to get all messed up.
And then communicate that back with your driver manager where you left everything.
For sure.
Yep. So, yeah, that's always a good deal to do that, and then it'll help whoever's going to come in on the backside and get that trailer, whether it's loaded at that point or if it's empty again and they're taking it to someplace else to load. It should be in good shape. So definitely do that.
If you're picking up a load, there's a lot more to it.
Let's talk about it.
When you get your dispatch, you usually are given quite a few POs on pickup. You get your bill of ladings and you're missing some POs. We need to go back into that shipper and make sure that they didn't forget to put something on. If you go to scale it, you're supposed to have 40,000 pounds and you're only weighing 39,000 pounds. You probably don't have all the product.
Mm-hmm.
You know, communicate that with your dispatch. And
Yep.
last thing we want to do is not take a full load and get half our rate taken away or something.
Yep. No, that's right. That kind of takes us into like a cargo theft too. When you're there, if it's a loaded trailer, check the bill of lading and look at what the seal number is that's on that trailer.
Where it's going.
Yep. And validate, first of all, right trailer, you know, matches the bills, and the seal on the trailer doors matches what's on the paperwork.
The name on the trailer goes a long way, too.
It does.
We stole the trailer the other day. Had to take it to another drop yard.
Oh, it's not good. That's
Trailer
not
numbers
good.
match, but the name was different.
Yeah, it's always good.
That guy had a bad day.
I guess, man. Yeah, you don't want to do that. That tends to get people a little excited there.
It does.
But once you validate that the seal is correct, then lock it up. Put your lock on it. No sense taking any chances. You know, right now you hear about it all the time. People, you know, breaking into trailers and stealing freight and whatnot. Always keep a lock on that thing.
We had a theft. One of our drivers got loaded. I think it was in Memphis last year. And they said he could sleep there. Well, in the middle of the night, he felt this rustling around. And there was a pickup behind him offloading product and screamed right past security. Luckily, they caught it all on camera, but it could have been at a rest area, could have been in a truck stop. Always padlock that stuff up. Get the padlocks that you can't cut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Saves a lot.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. You can't be safe enough, especially nowadays. There's just a lot of things happening out there. Want to talk a little bit about safety equipment. There's equipment that we have on the trucks that we use, and then there's personal safety equipment that we should keep all the time. One of those is triangles. How many times have we jumped in a truck and actually even opened the box and looked to see if there's triangles in there,
Only got 2 of 3.
That's right. That's right. So validate that you got good triangles, that they're in functional, that they're good enough to work, in functional condition. Nothing worse than to reach in and grab triangles and then the weighted base doesn't work, or you go to pivot them and they won't work correctly. Then you really don't have a triangle there at all. So validate that you have triangles on your truck, that they're in good shape, and they'll work in the event that you need them.
Fire extinguishers?
Fire extinguishers, too. Nothing worse than having a fire and it's no-go.
Yeah. Make sure they're charged as well.
Yep.
Make sure they're secured. You don't want them rolling out underneath your brake or something.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. And know where it's at. That's the other thing.
Yeah, that's good to know where that's at. Water doesn't work on fires very well.
No, not at all. Not at all. And it's funny, I say where it's at. And, our professional drivers, they drive that truck every day. And they're going into their storage bins and whatnot. They know where the fire extinguisher is. But at that moment when you need it, it's like, where was it? Where was it? So you're thinking real quick, and hey, if it's in your side box, driver's side, it's right there. You know where it's at. You got to get in there. Make sure it's accessible. Make sure you don't have a bunch of stuff crammed in front of it to where you can't get to it, where you're unloading half your storage compartment to get to it.
And if you've, God forbid, had to use it, make sure you get it replaced. Get with a shop, or I think they sell them at the truck stops anymore, don't they?
I think they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I'm not a fire marshal or anything, but I was always told that on your fire extinguisher, you should be taking it out of there and turning it upside down and banging it a little bit against your hand or something, just to loosen up that powder and stuff that's in there, because it does have a tendency to lay in the bottom of it, and it just doesn't work near as good. So whenever you're doing a pre-trip or something, once a month, take it out of there, pound it around, look at the gauge, make sure it's got a good charge to it. And go.
It don't work, just shake it up.
It doesn't do very good at all.
It's always good to have extra fluids.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Especially antifreeze.
Yep.
Most of our guys can get that right on their fuel card when they're fueling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what it is. I think it's a gallon of each.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you don't use it, I always carried 2 just in case you get a small leak.
Mm-hmm.
Before you get somewhere, you might go through 2 gallons.
You bet. Yeah, antifreeze. A lot of guys keep windshield wash in there, and maybe a gallon of oil.
Yeah,
good stuff, and some grease. Grease goes a long ways too.
So, for sure.
Yeah, good stuff there. Fuses. These trucks are all protected, the electrical system, with fuses, and if you're using the electrical system, especially on refrigerators or some other kind of appliances you may have that you use in the truck, you blow a fuse, you're out of commission. So extra fuses will help out in a long way.
Accident kits,
first
God
aid.
forbid if you used one, let's get another one in there.
Yep. No, that's right. That's right.
I believe all the trucks come that way too, but with some truck swapping around, a guy may slip his mind to check all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make sure we got all the safety equipment.
You bet. And then a first aid kit, with some Band-Aids in it and some antiseptic and whatnot. If you do end up getting a cut or whatever, it's kind of nice to have a Band-Aid and be able to stop the bleeding,
You know how that feels, don't you?
I do know how that feels. Absolutely. And then for the driver, always having some food and some water, if it's just a granola bar or something, just something that you can chew on in the event that you get stuck someplace, broke down, wherever. Having water in there is definitely real important, and it doesn't hurt to have some kind of a snack or something with you. Yeah,
For sure.
Good stuff. And then before we know it, we're going to be hitting that winter season again, and that means tire chains. Got to have tire chains on. So
Do they have to be operational? Do
It's
they have to be
preferred.
the right size?
it's preferred. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I can't believe we're already halfway through July and coming into August already. So
I know summer's going quick, and I just now got my pickup back.
yeah, that's right. That's right. Congratulations on that too.
Yeah. You don't know how much you miss your pickup when you ain't got one.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. I noticed you come in here sporting a new cap there, looking pretty good.
I do. Every new one that comes out, if it ain't flat bill, I'll get it.
You bet. Well, what other kind of things, Kenny, did we have here in the last week or so that we should probably talk to the team about?
There's been some minor fender benders. A lot of them deal with tail swings. When you got your tandem slid up, there's a lot of trailer back there. You're backing in somewhere, and that right side of your trailer is way further over. You can smack trucks. If you're turning corners, your tail swing, I think we pinned a car against a curb the other day making a tight left-hand turn. She was in her lane, turn lane, but that tail swing come over. If you're going to be hugging that, I'd hug the left lane. If it's a tight turn, when you get into the intersection, just turn out a little bit and then make your curve. It'll help it a little bit. A lot of people think the trailer will just follow you. With all that tail swing back there, it's got to swing somewhere.
Yep. No, that's right. That's right. Yeah, that pivot point is definitely where the axles are on the trailer. So anything beyond that will definitely swing on out.
Same thing when you're pulling out a parking spot. If you got trucks on both sides of you and you're looking at your tires on the left side of your trailer and you're making sure you're going to clear that truck, well, that tail swing on the back of the trailer goes way out there. You clip the guy's mirror. It happens constantly, and any of these guys know they're probably nervous when they're parked in a truck stop from that happening to them. Let's just be conscious. Don't just tear out, pull out slowly. You get way out there before you turn.
Yep. No, you bet. I just I was out of state last week, and I came back to Idaho over the weekend, and I had the pleasure of running I-80 across Wyoming and back into Utah, and it was quite busy. There was a lot of truck traffic out there, and I was really floored by the number of trucks that could not maintain their lane. They were going over the fog line, they were going over the zipper line.
You think it's cell phones?
I don't know. I know our professional drivers are dealing with that all the time. I'm not saying anything that they don't see. The amount of them that were doing it, though, really blew me away. I couldn't believe it was like every third truck was going off the road. Sometimes I'd see the duals on the right-hand side of the trailer completely over the fog line. And then they'd get back into the lane again. And I'm thinking, I'm going to pass this guy. Does he know I'm going to be on his side, or is he going to come back that way? So it's like, well, we got to get after it, And then a couple times you got a guy that in the right lane can run 67, and the guy in the left lane can run 67 and a half, until they come up to a hill. There was like 15 miles before a truck could get past around another guy, and people start getting excited, and just all kinds of stuff was happening. But, fortunately, I didn't see any incidents or anything out there, and that's a good thing. But it just goes back to what our drivers have to deal with every day. They're out there dealing with that every day. It's a tough enough job just trying to deal with shippers and receivers and paperwork and working with dispatch and everything else that you do. But then when you're out there on the road like that and you're dealing with the motoring public, it's a challenge. It's a challenge.
It is.
Yeah.
One other thing, let's check these tires every time we stop to use the restroom. We just lost a truck, trailer, and load. Initial is a flat tire, a blowout tire. and kept going and got hot, caught fire, total loss of everything. Most guys don't sit and drive for 8 hours straight. They're taking restroom breaks and eating and stuff. Let's point them tires, make sure they're aired up. If they're low, let's get some air in them. We don't. Luckily, everyone was okay. No one else was involved, but could have been prevented.
Yep. No, absolutely. I know years back, when I was running, I would go down and put my hand on the hubs too. I'd walk by.
Oh, for sure.
Just reach down there and feel and see if your bearings are hot or if it's doing good. Especially on the trailer, and it's just peace of mind. When you walk around it and you kind of check that kind of stuff, it's that you're doing all right if it's cool. So
A lot of guys, these truck and trailers come with keeps the tire pressures at the same pressure all the time. So they think everything's all right, but the problem is those things get plugged or they go bad, them crossover lines, and you'll have a tire go down. Well, that cutoff valve will shut that tire off. So only one of your tires will have it. So it's good when you're checking them to set your brakes and wait a little bit and check them. Because when the truck's running, you still got air to your trailer. A lot of guys just pull the tractor brake when they get up there. Well, all that air is still in the trailer, so it's keeping those trailer tires inflated. Same thing if you're dropping and hooking. Release the air, wait a little bit, check those tires, make sure they're all inflated.
No, you bet. The other thing I noticed just here at the house here lately, it's getting lighter a little bit later in the mornings. I don't know if you've noticed that or not, but there for a while and get up early in the morning, get up 4:30 or so, and you can start seeing it getting light outside, and it's getting a little later now when the sun's starting to come up. So the seasons are definitely starting to change. I think we'll see fall hopefully here fairly soon, and maybe chase some of this heat out of the air.
Boy.
It's just terrible hot right now everywhere.
Boy, howdy.
Yeah.
We've seen triple digits for a couple of weeks now.
Yep. No, that's right. It's tough, and it's tough on our team out there running too. Dealing with this heat and trying to stay cool, and they're always on asphalt. And it's just, that don't help either. It's 100 degrees, 105 degrees in the air, and the asphalt's 130 degrees, and you're trying to keep cool in that truck. It's tough.
Well, and if you're seeing that you're not staying as cool, there's things that you can do, changing your cab filters, reefer units, especially this time of year, are really struggling to keep those temps down. Let's get them condensers blowed out. Downtime is a killer.
Yep.
So those couple of things right there might save you a big breakdown.
Yep. And why is it that, a truck that's running all the time, running down the road and people are working with it and stuff seems to go just fine. You park them for a couple of days and things just don't work the same.
Yeah, I ended up driving my wife's car for almost 2 months while they were putting that new motor in my pickup. I got my pickup. I wasn't sure if everything was right or not. I was used to a really light foot throttle, and my pickup's got a little stiff throttle, and
Yeah.
it's like a tank driving it compared to her little Denali.
Yep. No, that's right.
But
That's right. What we talked about today, if you guys have some comments or something that we didn't talk about, throw it in on the comments line. I'd like to hear your thoughts on some of what we talked about. I know you got a lot more information than we have here. We're talking about just a few of the items, but you guys are dealing with it every day, and there's probably some stuff that you've got that you could add to that and help anybody that's watching the podcast or maybe reading the comments. Give them some help and some tips. Yeah, it's good stuff.
especially when it comes to food.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Absolutely. What else you got, Kenny?
Well, that's about it. Hope everyone's staying nice and cool.
Yeah, you bet. No, absolutely. Again, well, I definitely want to thank everybody for what you're doing. It is a tough job. It's a tough job. You guys do a great job on what you do every day. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you and doing what you do out there every day. So we definitely appreciate it. We're a big team. We're just going to try to keep working on things, keep everything going. But you guys are our eyes and ears out there on the road. If you see something, say something, and we'll see you down the road. All right. Thanks.
See ya.